Hello, hello. Welcome to my craft room with Rhoda. We are going to look at the sneaky peek, and then we're going to work some more on the Shabby Grunge journal. I'm calling it a Shabby Grunge Dump journal because instead of trash, it's like I'm dumping anything that I find that might possibly go with the theme that I'm going with. Okay, more on that in a minute. We're looking at our sneaky peek. Now, this is just a little bit of the ephemera. I took this piece here and made it an actual belly band. So the little piece comes out underneath of it, and you can unfold it. It's like a skinny double journal card. So that wasn't enough to see to give you some good ideas. Let's go over here. Another pocket, which I put a scrap bookmark from the kit. And then just a scrap piece of paper I had here, and then I kind of zhuzhed the page up. I've got some of that feather sheer netting from the Dollar Tree on the whole page. I actually did put a little trim of butterflies over here first, then I put the netting on, then I did a little bit of washi tape and more of that little trim and some gewgaws, and then the pocket, and that really dressed the page up quite a bit, so I was happy with that. And then I tried to keep the gold theme going with this and, with that. Let's see what else we got. I kind of like this little background page. It's sort of like a green blue. Oh, another pocket. It's all I got in here is pockets. But I do have a little Rolodex card that I decorated up. So you can kind of get an idea of something here. It's not really anything on the back because I figured that would be journaled on. So the front is like the dip technique where you dip it in the ink that you put a little water in. And then I have a little bit of stenciling you can see here. And then I went in and did a stamp with some embossing powder and put some gold on there. And as you can see, if you don't let this base layer dry of this oxide ink, this embossing powder will stick to it in a heartbeat, which in some cases makes a beautiful look. So don't knock it until you try it. I did splatter some little dots on here, and I took this piece of a die cut plant and I kind of painted it up or dipped it in some greens and such, and then I used a clear embossing powder on that, and that's why that's shiny. So anyhow, let's look at the rest of this. Okay, another tag from the kit. I did some a die cut piece of ivy here and 2 sticker leaves, and then I had a base layer here and I just put a strip across it, and then I put that from the kit to decorate it up. So I think that's enough sneaky peeks for the day, so put that away for our next visit. And I did get the cover done on this journal. I'm not sure if I want to show you or have it as a end for the flip through kind of a situation. All right, I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to do the cover and how I want it to work. I'm thinking I'm going to have it as a wraparound, and it's going to tuck into a band on the back side. So we'll get to that maybe another day. And I'm sorry, but I did not even show you the book for the school journal, and I promise I'll do that today. There's not really much to see. I've got to make some papers for it, so we're going to do some mixed media here in a few days, and we're going to do some papers for that. Okay, this piece or page I did off screen. It's actually a pocket here. I did a little bit of that collage paper behind there. It's one of the pockets like this that I made up, and I just have to cut a hole in it. And then I either decorate on top of it or what. I put my map bug on here because that's a map on the back. I will link that at the end so you can see how I did that, because that was a kind of a cool idea to use old map page, and it was really a different look. I put that one little piece of film strip behind here, some old like advertisements or something. I just put one of my letter C's. It looks like a stamp. There was a piece behind it with some numbers and letters on it. And then I put a little bit of the lace. I'm kind of trying to keep that through here with the lace. So then I have a page over here ready to be decorated. I got all the pieces and parts I want to use for it right here. Let me move it up a bit, and then I can stick all my goodies down here that's to go with it. And then we can figure out what to go with first. I've got that beautiful piece of lace. It came from Mom's shirt. It was a pretty shirt she had, silky shirt, and it had that lace up around the collar and down the front buttonholes. Oh, it was gorgeous. Now, what I did with this lady was I took her, I think that's for the other side over here. I took this lady, and I have these little wooden, it's like a Polaroid frames, chipboard, and I just colored it up gold, and then I cut that cabinet card down because she was very small in the photo. I mean, it was a lot of white around her. So I decided to do her like that. And what we're going to do first, of course, this is one I kind of stenciled on, but I think everything is going to get covered. So we'll have to say bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. I really appreciate everybody coming to see me today. I hope you get a few things you've seen that might be of interest. And I might have to do something here because I don't want that to be orange. I want it to be, because I've got a hole here. That was actually a bag, a fast food bag. And I decided to put that in here. So yeah, I think that'll take care of the, yeah, sort of. Sort of. Maybe we'll put us, how big is that? Maybe we'll put this on here. Yeah, let's do that. It's just a piece of music paper that I've ripped up where I was putting it on a few other things. Yeah, that orange is not in my color scheme here. So let's put that there. Trim off the excess, not access, excess. Hope I got it in the middle too. Let's see. Let's see. Oh no. Little more of it. Okay. A little bit ought to do it. So we have beautiful, beautiful weather here today. It's not to brag, it's just it's about time. I'm trying to say it is about time. I think I have one cat that's still outside and hadn't even decided to come in yet because he likes it so much. All right, so I think that's good enough. We'll do a little bit of dark edging. Try to make it blend in. Yeah, rest of that's going to be hidden. So let's go ahead. This was just a strip that was cut off of something. It's got a little bit of writing on it, so it sort of looks old. And we're just going to go ahead and ink down here. I'm going to go around this because that's the part that's going to go around that notch hole. And I don't want the excess glue to come out. All right, let's see what we got here. And it's even got that little ziggy-zaggy, what do you call that? Pinking shear looking edge on it. And I'm kind of leaving it to where that's still showing. Let me see what I've got here. Oh yeah, I did it just right. I didn't want to get that ink or extra glue anywhere. There we go. Now, the other piece that I wanted to put down is this underneath. And this is going to actually go here. I got to remember where my spine is. Now, for that, you always want to usually use a glue stick. And I can go around the outside, though, with a little bit of wet glue. Because I'm not exactly sure where I need to be with this. It's always, it's always a battle to get it just right. So we're going to do it like that. And then we're going to come in a minute with the rest of the glue to secure it. And I got this little guy at the Dollar Tree. And I want to tell you, If you haven't gotten one of these yet, it's wonderful. I mean, I used to use my other bone folder here to do all my squishing and rubbing and stuff like that. But this is more ergonomically better to do it. It's got a rounded side and then it's got a flat side. So I always use my rounded side and I'm pushing and going out from whatever my item is. I'm always burnishing my glued items and that makes them go down much better. But for $1.25, I would suggest getting one if you don't have one. It's not very expensive. You can wash it in some hot water if you get a lot of glue on it, or some hand sanitizer that's got a little alcohol in it. That will take care of, you know, any kind of sticky residue as well in a lot of cases. That's what I clean my hands with. Just regular old hand sanitizer. And it does the job. Well, some of this doesn't have to all be down, so I won't worry about that. Okay, now this piece. I love this piece. I don't know who gave it to me. Thank you, whoever it was. I got it in some Happy Mail, and it was just so much stuff. Great stuff in that Happy Mail. I think I'm blocking out the rest of it. All right, so I'm thinking, I like that little bit of doodah there, and I don't know whether I can put anything around it or in it, like a ribbon. I usually will do a ribbon and tie a bow. But since we're mostly going for laces in this department, I don't know whether that could be something I could put there or not. It's got a look, doesn't it? It might be better with a piece of lace. I said lace, but I meant ribbon. Sorry. Now, I've heard or seen this little trick, and it usually does a pretty good job. That instead of going in one knot, you go around one more time with the string, and it makes it hold the shape a whole lot easier so you can tie a knot. And you don't have to have like 4 or 5 fingers holding the base layer down. I don't know if I'm tying that correctly. Let's try that again. All right. Around once and around one more time. Pull it. Try to get everybody in the middle, though it probably wouldn't matter. Do my bunny ears. Is that how you learned how to tie your shoe, with bunny ears? I don't think we had that. We just tied them. Oh my goodness. I was trying to read and find some stories to tell you. I mean, I've told you all the older stories mostly, but I was trying to find something more recent. And I did read something about when my dad was 7 or 8. He had this dog. I think I mentioned the dog before. It was a Shep, but they called him Sherby Derby. You know how you have a name for a pet and it's always changed. So, I don't know. That's close enough. So, anyhow, we, my Aunt Lucy, I think, was telling me the story. And so, Sherby Derby had gone out and got into a fight with another dog or something. And he come back home, and his lower lip was all chewed up and messed up and everything. And, half of it was, you know, raw and all. My Uncle Harold, which is Dad's older brother, one of them, he was always one to quip, and he would always have something crazy to say. So he said something about, he said that dog went out and bit off more than he could chew. And Dad got so mad. He was always getting mad because they always teased Sherby Derby. Yeah, I don't know what it was. They just thought they had to tease poor Sherby Derby. She said they did it all the time. And Dad would always take up for his little pup. And oh, gosh. That dog must have been something else. Dad was crazy about it. But, you know, how boys are with their puppies. That is so cute. It bit off more than he could chew. Oh, Lord, Uncle Harold. He was bad. As Aunt Audrey. I had her stories the other day. Oh, he was always one to have a big old car. And he had this, what do they call it, a Dauphine or something, a big old moose of a car. And I know they went up riding all the time in the mountains, you know, so they could drink some beer or something, as boys do. But there was one episode where they got stuck in a mud puddle or something. And I forget what happened. I might have to look that one up and tell you. Maybe I got it under Uncle Harold's notes, because I always try to put all the stories and things under their notes in my family tree maker. Alright, I might have to get me a little bit more glue up in here somewhere to hold down other pieces and parts, you know. So let me do that. Get a little bit more up in here. I just didn't want so much that it would, you know, be shining through everywhere. Alright, let's see how that works. And that one little flower, I'm going to see if I can get him back here, because he is not wanting to lay right. He's all wrinkled up. So I'm going to pull him back just a little bit so I can see if I can glue him down to where he's at least, no, he's not wanting to cooperate. Let's see if I can talk him into it now. I put an extra bit of glue there. Oh, this was such a beautiful shirt and trim. I think it was silky shantung that was actually on the piece. All right, it's beginning to cooperate now. I'm going to put a little bit more under there to help that look like it's supposed to be, the way it is. Let's see, maybe I can help that one too. Okay, you're in luck. I found the story. I did have it in his notes. All right, I'm going around with vintage photo, and then I'm going to go around and do just a tip with ground espresso, just to make this look kind of burnt edged. Okay, so Uncle Howard had a, what do they call it? A Renault Dauphine. D-A-U-P-H-I-N. I think. I don't know how you say that word. Anyhow, so they all decided to go over and see some family. That was about an hour and a half away from here. And there was 5 of them that went, 5 men. And so, you know, some of them been drinking. Probably most of them had been drinking. And they're all in the car. Well, they go and pull up the road to go see the family member. And they went across this little creek. They weren't quite there yet. They were close. And they go across this little creek. And he gets stuck. Uncle Harold's driving. He gets stuck. So, you know, instead of any of those 5 men getting out to push or anything, Uncle Harold just kept gunning the engine. And he kept rolling the wheel so hard, he finally dug down to the what was it? The rock base of the creek. And so they're all sitting there. And all of a sudden, this little old farmer comes by in his truck in the opposite direction. He stops. He gets out. He walks around to the back, looks at looks at the hole. Then he comes up and says to Uncle Howard, he says, "Are you stuck?" And Uncle Howard was said to have such a dry sense of humor that he looked at the guy and he says, "No, the motor died halfway across the creek, and I was trying to dig a hole to bury it in." Oh my gosh, he was just so bad. All of them were just so bad. Oh, I regret being like from the youngest. Dad was the youngest of all of them. So, I didn't get to see. That was what my cousin, my first cousin, he's the one that told me that story. And it's like, they all got to know them a lot better and longer than I did. When I was a kid, all I was thinking to do at the reunions was going out and playing. I wasn't thinking of visiting, talking, and, that kind of thing. So I should have put this on here before I glued that down. But of course, rush ahead, Rhoda. So yeah, it was interesting. I mean, I still had fun in my youth. It was just, I didn't even think about it. I mean, I didn't even think about doing genealogy until I was, going to college down in North Carolina. And I don't know why. I was down there living with my friend, and she was, her family lived down there in the next county over. And she was going to college, and I thought, I'll get out and see the world a little bit. And so, you know, you know how it is. Okay, I got that little polka dot on there. Now I might want to actually go across it with a little bit of ink so it blends in with everybody else. Yep, so Uncle Harold, oh my goodness. And, okay, there was more to the story. I had to go over and read it again. All right, so there was more to happen that day. As they were going back home, they sprung a gas leak. There was a hole in the hose. So as they're driving down the road, when they noticed that, they went and decided to fill up all the bottles that they had lying around. They had plenty of them, and filling them up with the gas from their drinking. So they started doing that. And each one got back in the car, had their bottles of gas now. And so every once in a while, they would stop, get out of the car, fill it up when it ran out of gas. Well, whoever had the bottle at the time would get out, go and fill it up with his bottle of gas. Then they get back in, ride down the road until they ran out of gas again, and just continuously did that until they got back home. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy. Only me with crazy family. Oh. Okay, and then here's another one about Uncle Harold. And we didn't say Howard, we said Harold. That is the way we were always told that was his name. That saying of it. And he only had the one name. Grandma didn't give him a middle name at all. And I think one of his daughters had asked her one time, because they stayed with her a lot, why she didn't give him a middle name. She just said she didn't want to. Have no earthly clue who he's named after. I never have figured it out. Neither did she. I don't think she really asked at the time. Well, this little guy here is going to go down at the bottom. So it's kind of covering that. I think I kind of would want to put something on there first. So let me cap this real quick. And I'm going to look and see what I can find. All right, I pulled out my Tim Holt stickers. These are the metallic sticker book. And I like it because it's got the gold compliments here. And I'm looking at it. And I think I like the Remember the Now. That has a little bit to do with, genealogy and remembering your ancestors and that kind of thing. So we're going to put a little bit of this fabric tack on there. And it also gives me, since that's a black background, because it also has white background in there as well. It's going to give me a little bit more touch of the black along with the gold. Because you want to have your colors kind of travel around your page. And so we have black here, we have black there, and then I'm going to kind of put it right underneath of that, leaving a little tip of the gold still showing, just like that. And I wanted that so I can wrinkle this up to a point where you can still see it just a little bit above. So let's put us a little bit of glue down underneath of here and get that working and sticking right in here especially. Okay. Then I'm going to need my spatula. Now these little spatulas, they're silicone, so they're not going to stick at all to this glue. It actually just rolls right off of it. Now I want to have just enough for you to see, and so we're going to keep kind of scrunching it around like that, and kind of like that. Try to get it to stick. And then I'm going to put just a tiny tip of it under there to where it'll lay flat. And it wants to leak, so I keep having to cap it. Alright, so we're going to put a little bit right there. And I had a little bit leaking on me. So I have a scrungy towel, paper towel in my trash can. I keep pulling it out to dab at excess glue. So that'll do the trick. All right, I like that. I didn't secure the ends, so they still have movement, which is probably some of the stuff you would like to have happen. And then when your glue dries, look, you just peel it right off. Now you can go and get, that is from Unique. I was trying to sell makeup one time, you know, laugh. So anyhow, you can go to the Sally's nail salon places, and you can actually get these makeup. It's for masks. When you do a face mask, that's what that one's for, and a few other things. Now, this little guy, we have one of my homemade pockets here, and one of my stickers from the clear labels that I got from Walmart, and I used Stays On black ink to do that stamp with, and you saw that early on. Here's one of my little advertisements. I thought that would work. I have a film strip. I have something I'm going to do with the film strip, so that's why these are here. These are from Scrapbooking with Me. This was one of her freebies back at the beginning of February, because it was for April. I was going to say April Fool's Day. It was for Valentine's Day. Okay, I got that out. And then I have this little bit of collage paper that I can put on here to put a little difference in the background. And I've got to cut up, I'm trying to remember how I wanted to do this. I know the big brown piece is going to go in the back, so I just as well get that down and have that drying while I work on something else here. All right. This was somebody, I think Tommy gave me this. Thank you, Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. It's almost like a leather kind of design, but it's just a piece of some type of paper. She probably got it from Temu. She was ordering some stuff from Temu at one point, and or AliExpress. I think she's ordered from them, her as well. But anyhow, I usually try to take what she sends me and make stuff with it. Oh. Alright, so that one's going down here. Of course, you can see there's not really much anything on this page, so we are fine with covering it. It's not going to hurt a thing. Alright, then we're going to see what we can do with this little piece. I think my man, I'm pretending he's a photographer. And see, this is part of his thing over here. He took her photograph. So that's going to go there. This is going to go up under here. I'm thinking they were going to go down in here somewhere. I had the film strip, which I think was going to go across there in some way underneath. I don't know why I have a pocket. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with this pocket. He's too big for that one. And he's too big for the other ones. Well, maybe I can stick him out a little bit on this and make that a pocket. Okay, we'll see if we can make that work. Okay, so I know where he needs to be. This needs to go down first, and then we're going to fix that. So I need my... And I'm going to try to put this on something and put glue on the back of it, because it's a really weird shape. It was like what I had left of that one after I ripped it down. So we're going to see what we can do with it. And I'm kind of going out in a starburst design just to keep it from wrinkling up on itself. Oh, which it already did. Okay. Wanting to stick to me too. All right there. And it's not exactly blending into the brown, so we're going to add a little bit of vintage photo to it. Magic vintage photo. Yeah. All right, see what that does. Kind of dull it down. This is the part you'll probably see over in here, so let me get rid of that first. That helped it. See, it really took the white off of it. That's what I was wanting. Okay. All right, for the film strip, I'm going to throw some ground espresso ink on the end of it real quick. And then that's all I'm going to do to it. And then we're going to cut these little people. And that's where this one come from. It was actually off of one of these. So I picked ones that had the smallest people. And I'm actually going to put that on top here and cut around it. I don't want to cut her head off. So I had to move around because this was bigger people. We're going to lose his elbow, but who cares? We're just going to have like a zoom in on the romance part. All right, that one's done. That didn't do a bad job. So now we're going to do this one. And I'm going to keep these little scraps because I'm going to be able to do something with them. Ooh, it's warm in here. Well, just think, probably last week I had the heater on in here. Ugh. Go figure. Okay. We got all our little people. If you want to snip the corners, you could. Let's see. Get these out of the way. They're all over the place. All right. So we are going to take our regular wet glue and glue that down. I think I'll do the largest one on the bottom. Kind of like you're taking a photo and you kept zooming in on them, you know. I think that's where I'm going to try to go with. It's a little different in the background color, but I don't think it'll hurt anything. All right, these are the smallest, so they're going on top. Now, Uncle Howard, in 1972, he got him a brand new truck. Everybody's wanting to ride around with him. So he had quit drinking and he was chewing tobacco incessantly, like constantly. Even Dad, he was like in the Red Man a lot. So he smoked that tobacco, or not smoked it, he chewed it. Chewed that tobacco a lot. So that's sort of what Uncle Harold is doing. So he is doing his favorite thing, riding around up in the mountains. And they're riding along, and they see a grouse. And he sees this grouse kind of, over in the weeds. He says, I'm going to kill that grouse. And everybody's looking around at, there's no gun in the car. He says, I don't need a gun to kill that grouse. So he had a Royal Crowned bottle that he was spitting into. Of course, you have to spit when you have tobacco. So he is spitting it into his glass bottle. And what happens is, I'm going to put this behind because this is a clear sticker. He's spitting it into the bottle, sees the grouse. I have to bring this over here real quick. Sees the grouse, goes and says he's going to get it. Everybody wants to see him do it to prove it. And so he starts to stand up, opens the door slowly, stands up outside the car. He's kind of up above where everybody can see him. But he's starting to slowly lift the bottle above his head. And he's going to throw it at the grouse. Well, he gets up to where the bottle was down at first, and he's slowly raising it. And when he gets up to here, he just totally freezes. He's not moving anymore. And some of the people in the car couldn't see what was going on, but realized he had stopped moving. Well, all of a sudden, one of them had seen all this brown goo dribbling down on the front of his shirt, down his pant leg, and all this. So, Uncle Harold, he finally gets back down and sits in the car, and his whole face and inside of his head is just covered in brown crap. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this guy is going to be going on here. I probably need to cut a thumb hole. So let me cut a thumb hole. And I'm going to put this real pretty side with the brassy color showing on the out. There we go. And let me figure out exactly where he's going to be. I think I can go across with, yeah, I think I can go across because there's not really anything happening on his shoulder. So he can go down first. Let's do that. He's going down first. Let's get him set up. All right. Another another story yet again of Uncle Harold. Okay, so Uncle Harold and a few others were setting up at my Uncle Elwood's. He married my dad's sister. And they're all setting up on the porch outside. And, of course, bugs and critters and stuff like that can get in. So they're sitting there, and there's a fly that starts to crawl across the floor. And it's crawling along, and Uncle Harold, or I keep calling, Uncle Harold, throws his foot out. He sticks it out flat, and then he pulls it down and kills the fly. Kills it. Just like that. And my dad, he's sitting there, he had been watching. He starts his little slow laugh, and he just keeps on, and Uncle Harold says, "What are you laughing at?" And Dad said, "That is the first time I've seen somebody with a fly swatter foot." So Uncle Harold gets mad, and he puffs up. He says, "Anybody can do that." Dad says, "I can't do it." And he says, "Well, there's something wrong with you." So it was just so funny. But he must have been very, very limber, is what my cousin said. See, my cousin and a bunch of the old guys were sitting around one of the reunions one year when my cousin was still running the reunion. I tried to do it, and nobody really came. So I did a couple years and didn't have anybody interested. And I quit trying. I had another cousin that was going to try to we could combine it, but that's when, you know, the big C hit. So, yeah. Now, I'm not too sure about this because I can always cut a hole right there and let that pocket still be used, but I don't know about my film strip now. Maybe I can stick my film strip in that direction. Or would it be better to do it like up there? Huh. Let me think about it. Okay, I think I'm good. If I leave it over here this far, then I'm clearing that spot. And then this one's just small enough to go between here and here. So let's do that. Oh, goodness. Okay. So this one, let's see if I can trim that little bit off there. Oh, it's sticking. It was sticky. Oh, my goodness. All right, so this is going to go right here. I don't know that you're going to be able to see that well. Right, you can't. Because that says photography or something up there at the top. Oh, well. It was worth a try. It was worth a try. On another place, when I had that vellum that was so dark, I actually put a piece of something behind it, like a white card, and you could really see it well. I should have done that. Right. All right, so I'm going to get a regular glue down. I think this glue will work on that leathery type of paper. We're going to see anyway. And we're going to put that down just about like this. We're going to cross our tongue to make sure it sticks. Now I had this little camera and I tried to cut all the white off of it. And I'm going to have it down here. This kind of reminds me of Picture Taking D. He had an old camera and went around and took pictures of people like right around the 1900s, I would guess. I think he was born in 1883. And he had went out to become a lawyer. He was trying that out for a year and found out that wasn't for him. So he got into picture taking and apprenticed with a guy up at Portsmouth, Ohio, and learned how to do that. And he had pictures in everybody's house that you could think of in West Virginia. All right, this is going right here. I know I'm covering up a little bit of my pocket, but that's okay. That is okay. Because you know what could happen? All right, where is it? I'm trying to find it in here. Because I could take this. Maybe I'll take this and rub it down real good. Okay. And we're going to see about cutting that right there. I don't know if I can. It feels like it's cutting. Now this is my sharp one at that. That sticker just is not wanting to cut too well. But I think I got it. Okay, so if you ever have that situation, that's what you can do. You can actually go in and cut your item where it's like that. Now, I may not even have something that's going to go in there that's going to go that far down, but just in case you do. Oh, we have one more piece. We have this little art terms kind of thing. I thought that I put that up there because it's like his business kind of terms when he does his pictures. Plus it needed something in this one spot. Okay. I don't know if I got another page back here ready. Let me see. What time is it? Oh, 44. 44. Oh, I did have this one. I was going to do the front of this envelope. We didn't do it the other day. And I have all this stuff picked out to go on it. Now, this is the one that I put a piece of white behind it. See? So, and then I had sticker. Now, I have a roll of this lace. There's not much left. It's beautiful lace. I love it. I don't know where I got it. I wish I'd gotten more. I've seen people using it, but have no idea if it's even still out there anywhere. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Look at it. It's got little flowers all around it and everything. So what we're going to do is put us a bead of glue all along this side here so it kind of sticks out. And then we're going to do another bead of glue like right along here. And I think that's all we're going to do for this sticking down process. And see, I've got it just a little bit over the edge. All right, let me get my spatula out. Push it down. Not that my fingers could be saved at this point. They're pretty bad off. Okay. So next, I need to do some stamping. Miss Jody Martin had sent me some of these little stamps, and there's this one. It's a plant, and I really like it for this one spot. Okay, I went over and got my VersaFine pigment ink for fine details. It's got some little lines in the leaves, and I think that'll be a nice delicate touch. I needed a little something up in that corner, and I didn't have it, so we're going to try this. And I'm going to come in from the side like it's growing in, like that, and create a little bit of layering. Okay. There. Oh, that turned out really good. I have just a little bit there, but I ain't no quibbles about it. No quibbles. All right, next on our list to do here, I think is that I wanted to get a little bit more gold in there. She's going to be about right here, I think. I think I needed a little bit of gold behind her head. I think that's what it was. And this is to go back here, about like there. And I had this little, what, an acetate heart. Somebody sent me a bunch of acetate hearts. And it's got that pretty little white edge on it. And I thought, let me do that. And then I have a sticker I got from some of my genealogy stuff. So I didn't know if I was going to use that sticker on here somewhere. Just for a different look. I mean, she's got a flower on her neck. I have flowers on here. That talks about flowers. Here's flowers. So I was kind of going for that kind of look. But this here, I just don't know. I'd be covering up my little plant if I stuck that in there. That's kind of what I was going for. Oh, I don't think I want it. No, don't want it. All right, so first off, we're going to take her and lay her to the side. That can go on next. I need to put this on first. So let me get a little bit of this and pick up that vellum, because I'm not going to be able to do that if it's not like marked like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go around the outside edge. I'm just going to go ahead and use my fabric tack, just for the reason that they say it has less moisture in it, so things don't wrinkle as badly. Okay, so we're going to get this down right about here, I think it was. Yep, I think that's fine. If I want to, I can come back and maybe put a flower there. Let's do that. All right, so we're going to put this down here. How was that to go? I can't remember now. It's supposed to be like right up behind her somehow. Maybe like that. Let's just do this. So we kind of have it. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to stick a little bit of it down here. And then we're going to go ahead and put the rest on her. I think we got a lot more done today. I'm so excited to work with this little grungy dump journal. I'm calling it a dump journal now, yes. Taking a dump. I'm so bad. Okay, yeah, I want to get it over to here. She needs to be right at the bottom. All right, and I'm going to cap that because it keeps oozing. But we may want to put a little bit of something else on here. Let me look. Okay, I don't mind that this is white because she's white. Although I could scuff up her dress a little bit, but I think it's supposed to be white. If you're a debutante and you're unmarried and you're just coming out, I think you're supposed to wear white. So I have this beautiful trim. It's, of course, I got it for $1.49. And it was at the Hobby Lobby when I hit it just right that time. So we're going to take one of the little bows, floral roses, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to trim this other one off. I might find a spot for him, though, because he still got his pearl. So we're going to keep that. Now, I think I want to trim around the outside. I don't want all that lace either, so. But it does have a little sheer piece to it, so we're going to keep that part. All right. Let me get the lace off and cut the or leave the sheer and cut the lace. That's what I meant to say. Okay. I'll get it right here in a second. All right, there we go. And so I'm going to round the edges just a little bit. There. Now, we're going to put that in there. Perfect. Perfect. All right. I love coming up with stuff. Love, love, love. All right. Go around the circle here. All right. Now, I get this on. We'll see what we did today. And I still have to show you the plans for the school journal. There we go. I think that turned out so cute. It's a little wet still. Where's my wipe up rag? Here we go. Yeah. That one little spot had a little leakage, but everybody else is fine. All right, so what did we do today? Let's flip it back here. Where was that? Nope, not that one. This one, our photography page. So we have a tuck here. Although you can't tell it's a tuck, I may put in a thumb pull right there, just so you know. And then we have this one where it's got the sticker, and I wish you could see photography there, but oh well. She's got remember the now. So the black travels around, as you can see. So that works really great. And then we have this page, which I needed to decorate the front of this envelope. And as you can see, am I over far enough? You can see that little bit of a scallop poking out. I thought that was perfect. Perfect. Okay, let's set this aside and let it finish drying. And I'm going to get my book out here. Now this is my book, and I watched Nick the Booksmith this morning. So kudos to her, because she showed me exactly what I needed to do. I watched the lady the other day, and it wasn't quite her detail. Now, there's a little piece of tape over top of that little brown that went through the top of the, or the back of the spine here. But this is a book that got in the flood. You can see the ripples in it. But it's still pretty flat, so it's not that bad. Just got a little bit of ripple. It was At Winter's End by Robert Silverberg. You know, me and my my sci-fi. So what I had done here was, this was a technique I saw Spirit and Nature Art do. And she took, what is that color? Tea dye. She took tea dye and worked it on first, and as the biggest section. Then she did vintage photo. Then she did ground espresso. And then she went back over it to blend it. And I love that look. It looks so great. And then I just kind of splattered some water spots on it and lifted it. And that's what I got. So Nick the Booksmith, her idea is you take a piece and you cut it like a file folder where it's a stronger piece. So that's just about right. So I'm going to be sewing the signature on a piece of my muslin, or my, broadcloth, no, muslin, because it's cotton. That's all going to get put together, and then I'm going to draw a grid on here on where the signatures will be sewn in. Then that gets glued onto here. So thank you, Nick the Booksmith. I found a couple of stencils that might work with numbers and such. Here is the muslin I was talking about that I had stained. That's going to be part of the spine. Here was some little pictures that I had, like little school children. This is the cover. I had covered this the other day with this excess washi tape that was really wide. And it was just like the continents of the world. So I put that together. It was enough to do both sides. I hadn't been using that washi. It's used now. I had bought these stickers way back when. I guess that was Target. So I can use those. I think there's 2 colors. One's not shiny. I had bought this at Dollar Tree. Never knew what I was going to do with it. Now I know. In here I have, this is one of the really old Tim Holtz pads. Crowded Attic. I've had it for ages. And it's got all of these things. There's like typing words and, I don't know, I guess that's measurement. Little, like there's that Fleur de Froment that I just used. Like here's a little world. I can use that. And I have rulers and school lesson books that I haven't used up. And then that one was sewing. So I've got all of those things left to do. These are 2 pieces of the, what do you call it? The backdrops, I think it's called. This one had a bunch of people on it, like they were at school. And I almost thought to use that, but I may use this somewhere instead, like on the inside cover or something. Then there's that's got the alphabet, and I don't know what's on the back. And oh, there's another one. Now there's one. I'm probably going to put this actually in the book, and it doesn't matter what's on the back. And then here's another one that's going to go in the book. It's like a little band. And that's really cool. It's like a big ticket. So 2 of them will be my, oh, no, I don't need an inside and outside cover liner. I've already stained them, that's right. Well, we'll probably use them all in the book. And here, oh gosh, here's more. Correlated handwriting. Well, it's good because I don't have any pages whatsoever. And I've got that one. Oh, and it's like a book board or blackboard. And then here's like somebody's grades. And it has ferns and stuff on the back. And from long ago, don't know when, I had this handwriting. So that can go in. Maybe I'll back them like that since it's white on the back. I had done something. Oh, that was just my name thing. And then I've got an idea here. That's what that's for. Yeah, I have like this one thing of letters, and you have to do the whole thing, or you just put like a piece of paper over an area and print them that way. So I thought I could use that for some kind of a fancy background. This is like a little house, and I don't know whether to make that some kind of a fabric flip or what to do. Then I've got a few pieces and parts. This is something I made. That is like a, it's like my, what did I call those? My puzzle pockets. And then I made it to where maybe these went together, where you can see the inside. It must have been what I did, made those go together. Just some scrap from another book, something from a newspaper, and a few thises and that's in here. Somebody sent me that, Shannon, or Sharon, maybe that was Sharon. Yeah, and I made these little notebooks. So I've got all these little things that has to do with schooling, but I don't have any digital. I don't have a digital, so I don't think I'm going to go that route. I'm going to try to do it with my own distressed papers. I'm going to make up my own, in other words, so I'll be I'll be having you join me for that. And I was going to show you this. I think I showed that in the sneaky peek just the other day. But these are like little, I don't know if you'd call it a coin pocket, a large coin pocket, or what it's considered. I saw Gail do them ages ago, and she called them a faux file card pocket. So what I did is I made two pieces out of cardstock, and I forgot to round the corners here. But what you'll do is you'll put them back to back like that, where they're staggered. And you could do some rub-on or something on there with some wording. And then they'll go into here like this. I may need to cut these down because I had to keep cutting down the bigger one. There. I'll probably still cut that down just so it goes on easier. But this is some paper from my Kirby Teasdale book. If you wanted to see how I did these, I'll be glad to show you. I actually had to work this paper differently than this type of pocket where it goes in the center, because I wanted to get the bird and I wanted to get her, and she was on the side. If I'd folded it that way, I wouldn't have seen anything. So we changed it up a bit. But these two will go on this one like that. Now this is a large pocket. It's actually 5 1/4 inches wide. So it's going to go in a tuck better than it will a pocket. It's actually the size of a pocket, but I don't think you would want to get rid of the corset in the journal part. So, and I did a little bit over here because it had this red emblem, and I never liked the emblem. Plus it gives me a date, 1932. And the bird is the same way. He was over here on the left side underneath of her in the actual 12 by 12. And then I can see almost all of this on the back side. So, okay. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me, all my subscribers and viewers. If you liked what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, a like, a share, a comment, and a goodbye. All right. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.